Have you ever or would you ever cast a spell to help a song do better?
Oh, I have. Yes, I actually have.
If you've seen Scream 6 in theaters, then you've heard this voice. Kailee Morgue, welcome.
Hi, thanks.
Of course. Thanks for coming on. First off, congratulations on the release of that with Mike Shinoda. Very
Thank
exciting, I'm
you.
sure, to get it out. And I mean, how does it sort of feel, I guess, for you to be in the Scream franchise? Were you already a fan beforehand?
Yeah, I mean, I it's kind of a long story. Like the reason it happened was because I had referenced horror movies like throughout different music videos and covers in my career, and like I just am genuinely a horror fanatic, and I guess it's more of a slasher, but like I did the whole thing I love, and I had known Mike for like a year, and he'd seen this video I made that was inspired by Scream, so he just kind of hit me and was like, "Hey, I happen to already have this Demi Lovato track. We're looking for possibly another female vocalist for this song." And I'd like to think that the video just like put the little thought in his mind, like, oh, this kind of reminds me of Kailee, which is awesome because it kind of just like turned manifested into this whole thing.
I assume you went to go see it when it first came out.
I saw it in the theaters once, and it was like a private screening that we did for Linkin Park fans and my fans. So it was really surreal because my first time seeing it was with like just surrounded by all the fans and with Mike and with my close the ones, my friends and stuff. So just cool to kind of have that moment where like I hadn't seen it a million times in editing. Like I'd been invited to the lot to go see it, but I just was like out of town or something. It kind of came up. So it was cool to see it in the theater. And I almost like forgot like the song was in the intro because I had no idea where it was going to be. Like they're like, okay, cool, it's just going to be in the intro. So I was like, all right, like I only sing the hook, so I wasn't sure what to expect, and it was just really surreal to like hear it in a huge theater and just see it happening.
No kidding. Are there any other franchises, movies, film series that maybe someday you'd like to contribute another song to?
I don't know about like specific franchises, but I think my dream would be to do more of like I mean, I love the 90s. It's hard not to love the 90s. There's something so charming and um candid about like the stuff that was the pop culture of that era was just so relatable. So like I feel like in the future I would love to do more of like a Clueless type of vibe, like where maybe possibly like a girlier 90s tone movie, like a teenage, just stereotypical 90s movie. I'd love to do something like that. Just because I love that era and a lot of my music is actually inspired by that.
Sure. Something that excited me about the chance to talk to you is that when I was a teenager, I grew up in Salem, Massachusetts, and I saw that you are a
Mm,
practicing witch. So, not something that I'm unfamiliar with. What is something about being a practicing witch that you wish people
right.
knew?
I think that a lot of people that practice witchcraft, or like, I think from the outside looking in, I struggled with explaining this to my family, certain people in my family, and people that don't immediately they just kind of associate it with stereotypes, and I think it seems like it's like just very selfish or something, and I think it's actually crazy because magic to me is the most like selfless thing you can do. It's very much about like giving back and um kind of viewing yourself as this small thing that's a part of something so much bigger than you. So I think I just wish people knew that it was not all like dark and mysterious and crazy. It's a really a lot about just like connecting with yourself and knowing who you are like in the grand scheme of life in the universe. And I've found like a lot of peace and just like calmness with my life by doing that. And a lot of the steps it takes to clear your head to do the magic really helps like with your mental health and everyday life. So
Have you ever tried to combine that with your musical career? Like, have you ever or would you ever cast a spell to help a song do better?
oh, I have. Yes, I actually have. I mean, like, I'm not going to say that I was sitting here and I was like, all right, like, make my song do well. But I've definitely done abundance spells and tried to manifest. I do like manifestation journaling and kind of vision board stuff, but I've done like specific spells more so for overall luck and abundance. And I try not to be too specific with spells like that, just because I think whatever's supposed to be whatever's coming to you is like what is meant for you in the best way. So like I kind of try not to be super specific with spells, but I definitely am like in my head like, okay, I hope this kind of abundance is like helping me with my music, and it kind of has. I'm not sure how much it's the spells or like the work that I'm actually doing, but it feels like everything's kind of lining up how it should. So it's been really cool to practice and also like do the music and feel kind of like it's out of my hands.
I mean, at a certain point, you kind of probably come to just not question it. As long as you're doing the work and you're doing the
Yeah.
spells, some
Yeah, because that's
combination
the
of the two
important
is
part.
working. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Let's talk about your ink because you're covered in tattoos. What is your latest piece?
I actually have to think about this.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay. So when I was on tour, I went on tour in March. I got two tattoos in the course of 2 weeks. So
Okay.
I got like a love bug. It's like a
Oh,
ladybug with hearts.
cute.
And then me and my, so it was a really small crew. It was me, my manager, and my drummer. So
Uh,
we decided to get like matching tattoos, but weren't exactly the same. They were just on theme. So my drummer got a horseshoe, my manager got a cowboy hat, and then I got a cow. So those are
Wow.
my two, and they're in the like exact same spot, but I didn't even notice that until after tour. So it's I don't know, it's cool. I think tour is meant for impulsive tattoos, and it's kind of like a tradition at this point for me.
Well, very cool. So next time you go out on tour, you're coming back with a few more then.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Your Twitter handle, when I was doing some research, I thought it was fun. It's Morgue Mommy. And it sparked a
Yes.
question immediately in my mind because when I think a morgue mommy, I think maybe somebody who works at a morgue. If you weren't
Yes.
doing music, is that probably the career path you would have chosen?
I don't know that I would have done that. I'm not gonna lie. I considered getting into forensics when I was like in high school. I really loved my forensic science class. I was super into true crime. It was really a passion of mine, and I still am super into it. Like I have a bunch of books and stuff, but I just think there's something about there's something about like I just have this pull to be in the creative field. So, and also you have to learn a lot of like you have to like learn to a certain extent like laws and things like that. And I was like, I don't think I could do that stuff. I don't know about that.
Wait,
But
handling dead bodies requires following the law? I am out.
yeah, I was like, but that part of it was a little boring in forensics class to be going
Uh-huh.
over like all the legality stuff. But um I think I would probably be like a teacher or no, actually, I was gonna practice doing tattoos. I wanted to be a tattoo artist, but that's also like creative field, kind of just if you get good at it, you get good at it. But so far, I'm still terrible.
What is something about you, a lot of your, is that a pupper?
It
Or
is. It is a puffer. She's like, Mom, you're talking. I need attention.
What's her name?
Her name's Blondie. She's cute. She's just a lot. Cause like if I'm talking and I'm excited, she's like, what's going on? Like,
Mm-hmm.
why am I not involved?
Almost that almost answers my next question because I was going to say, what is something like a fun fact about you that's not particularly spooky? And Blondie seems like a obvious answer.
Oh she's my baby. I'm trying to think. Because I think like outside of music, I'm super into video games. I don't know if people know that. Like I'm very into video games and I don't talk about it a lot, I guess, because it's like how do I don't know how to talk about it because I'm not good at them. So I can't stream. But I just love them. And I love like story-based games. I really like well honestly like The Last of Us years ago got me into story-based games. So I like that, like Beyond Two Souls, Detroit Become Human.
Mhm.
I also like horror games, Outlast, which I know is spooky. And like Cuphead, I play with my brother. So there's like a lot of stuff that like it's one of my main hobbies, that and reading, which like most people know at this point because I'm obnoxious about it. I read so much. But yeah, I have a few little hobbies here and there. I think the tattoo thing too. I'm not sure everyone knew that I was trying to do that, but I kind of float around, try to get good at things, and then I have little hobbies that I never get good at.
Yeah.
So
Your album, Girl Next Door, it's out now. What can people expect when they press play?
so it's actually interesting. The first song on that album is the one that like I'm guessing really helped me land the scream thing because that song was completely inspired by well, it's actually inspired by a 90s coming of age book, but
Wow.
the aesthetic of the entire video and the cover is all horror. So that song is what greets you. It's kind of a lot of the album just explores like being scared of getting older and feeling like that little phase between kind of being a teenager and then fully being an adult like in your late 20s when you're kind of like, okay, like now I'm 25 almost, and I'm just like, okay, I feel like I finally figured it out. But in that little in between, I didn't know what the hell was going on. Like I was just, I was like, I have no idea what's happening. So that album is really just exploring those themes of feeling weird in LA, like when I moved here, weird trying to like be an artist when I feel so introverted. And just being like a girl and I think struggling with yeah, like growing up and feeling insecure and all those like hormonal issues. Just like, oh, I hate myself. Wait, never mind. I'm a god. So yeah, it's just kind of the whole thing. And then I think sonically, I referenced a lot of like Alanis Morissette, Hilary Duff. Even I was trying to kind of explore the types of music that I listened to as a kid, and I really enjoyed.
Very cool. And I want to
Yep.
thank you for the time here.
Thanks. Thank you for having me. It's always fun to talk about this stuff in kind of longer form.